Avoid skipping. Have you ever seen someone who appears to nearly unaffected by time? Their vitality is lively, their presence is light, and they don't. Regardless of their age, they have a young spark that is difficult for others to define. Perhaps you've gone through it yourself. Someone stops you and is shocked by how old you are, firmly believe that you must be years, or even at first, being 10 years younger seems like a straightforward remark. But what if you looked younger? Something more is more than just skincare and genetics. What if something is reflected in it? Deeper your philosophy, your mindset, and how you deal with life's difficulties that the Stoics recognized. According to Marcus Aurelius, you have control over your thoughts, not external circumstances. Recognize this, and you'll find resilience. Inner peace, fortitude, and resilience. Do not merely mold your thoughts. They influence how you think and how you are. The burdens you bear or choose not to bear are mirrored in your face, body, and even how you navigate the world. People who appear to resist aging frequently share specific psychological characteristics that are hidden of believing that will protect them from the degradation of stress, regret, and negativity. We'll find these today. 7 unspoken explanations for why certain people seem timeless and grounded in timeless stoicism. Knowledge, so consider how much of your youth is not formed by accident, but rather by decision if you think exploring is worthwhile. The unseen factors that influence our lives. Please pause to give this video a like. Now that you've subscribed, let's start with an unshakable spirit. First of all, your spirit is unbreakable. Ever come across someone who has suffered the anguish and storms of life? Financial ruin due to betrayal, but still appears to be carrying themselves with grace. They have suffered unaffected by time, but it wouldn't be visible on their face. Your mind's hidden, indestructible spirit greatly influences your body more than you understand. That anxiety, grief, and stress don't simply consider your thoughts. They are etched themselves into your skin, your posture, and even how you conduct yourself in life. People who appear to be immune to aging aren't just fortunate to have good genes. They possess a mastery of emotional resiliency. Rather than permitting their feelings to manage them, they decide to. The Stoics have emotional self-control. Marcus Aurelius was well aware of this. Written, you are in charge of your thoughts, not external circumstances. Recognize this, and you will. Strength isn't found in strength. About facing suffering rather than avoiding it. Keeping your tension under control is silently destroying not only your tranquility, but of your youth. Observe those who, in most cases, age prematurely. They are individuals who have permitted stress. They focus on past mistakes in order to control them. Hold on to grudges and live in an ongoing anxiety due to this mental. The body is forced to survive by burden, mode that floods it with cortisol, the stress hormone that causes wrinkles over time. Stress can lead to dull skin and weariness. Does more than simply make you feel older. Makes you appear older as well. Yet there are people who don't allow life's. They take the hits and are broken by adversity. However, they do not allow the bruises to remain. Every time they fall, they get back up. Resilience is a decision, not a denial. Decision to relinquish what they are unable to, ability to concentrate solely on what is inside. They don't waste energy with their power. Hating the past or being afraid of the future, they embrace the challenges of life with calm resolve in the face of that difficulty is unavoidable. But suffering is a choice, and this strength is evident in their features. Their eyes and skin remain bright, continue to be vibrant, and their vitality continues unquestionable. If people frequently say, you appear younger than you actually are, do you consider yourself to be someone who consistently going forward, regardless of what you confront hardship in a calm, unfazed manner? Decide if you want to be burdened or not. By things that you are unable to change, you might have found one. One of the best ways to stay young, not only in looks but also in character. And if you're still not proficient in this, now is the ideal moment to begin. Give up things you can't control, resilience in your hardships, and don't allow. You get worn down by life because while the years will undoubtedly go by, but only you can determine if they leave an impression on your spirit or simply on a instead. Embrace change in the second calendar year. 2. You accept change rather than fear. Have you ever met someone you're afraid of, whose vitality appears to be nearly unaffected by time, regardless of their age? They relocate living with an infected inquiry and a sense of openness that nearly. These are the individuals that have a childish, revealed one of the most important secrets to maintaining youth, not just in the body but also in spirit and mind, are hidden and embraced. Aversion to change, rather than dreading it to alter, is among the quickest methods to age, not only in terms of physical attributes, but emotionally and cognitively. Those who refuse to change and end up trapped in cycles of tension, annoyance, and stagnation. Their brains become inflexible. Their repetitious behaviors and their very presence starts to convey the gravity of their resistance to change. You've probably noticed the frown lines on the rigidity in their motions, the vitality of someone who is just persevering. Instead of experiencing life right now, consider regarding people who appear to have it easy, even in their 50s, 60s, or beyond. Young. Instead of allowing time to define them, they, instead of holding on to the past, they welcome the present rather than claiming I'm too old. They respond by asking why they aren't lifelong learners who are prepared to change, to attempt new activities, to venture outside their comfort zones that they perceive as something to be afraid of, but as a way to welcome a chance for development, for finding, for reinventing. This adaptability benefits more than just the soul is among the most potent. Scientists have discovered anti-aging factors. Validates what philosophy has long recognized: those who never stop learning. Investigating and maintaining mental focus, preserve improved cognitive performance, stronger and more emotionally stable, their mental and physical well. Their spirits remain lively and keen. That vitality inherently manifests in there's a lightness to their appearance, radiance that their faces cannot be imitated. Don't bear the burden of regret, or their bodies become rigid due to the strain of resistance. Rather, they have a young presence, which is unquestionably, if you've ever questioned why some people appear to age too quickly. While some seem to defy time, take a look at how they react to others, those who dread it and cling to outdated methods. The unknown age more quickly on the inside and out, but individuals who flow with life, consider each twist and turn to be an adventure instead of a barrier, still exists. Youthful in ways that don't require any lotion or therapy can mimic the reality that aging is not just about the years going by. It's regarding how you react to the modifications that accompany them if you don't change. If you allow fear to control your decisions, that will make you feel elderly long before your time. But if you welcome uncertainty, continue to be inquisitive, and resist the urge to change, you will carry energy. If you are mentally rigid, it causes others to pause and consider. What's your secret? 3. Your curiosity never stops. 3. You have an inquisitive mind. Have you ever encountered someone whose energy is so lively and alive that they appear to be unaffected by time? They might be in their 40s, 50s, or even 60s, but they still have someone's spark. What is their secret? They are half their age, not merely heredity or a careful skincare regimen, which piques their interest. Youth, most people believe, is only about appearance, but it's actually a lie. Youth starts in the imagination as soon as you quit asking inquiries and stop being inquisitive. Give up trying to learn more about yourself. Start aging without using an anti-aging cream can. Change a mentality that is stationary, which results in a life stagnation. For those who let their days to fade into monotony, who never confront themselves with novel encounters, gently extinguish the fire that was once they sparkle, as evidenced by their bravure in the exhaustion behind their eyes as they spoke in monotone. They are not really alive. They are only living right now. Compare that to someone whoever has an insatiable curiosity about these. Those who are lifelong learners, who always try to learn about the world. Deeper levels with both oneself and others. They take up new pastimes and inquire about their personal convictions, investigate novel concepts, and consider life to be an adventure instead of a burden. Their brains remain active, and as an outcome that their bodies adhere to isn't. Only philosophy and science back it up. Mental exercise maintains the brain's active, prevents cognitive deterioration, and even reduces the rate of aging. Yet curiosity does more than just keep you. Your entire energy is shaped by your brain. Have you ever seen that people who have a youthful fascination with life appears to? Their eyes are brighter and they glow. Expressions that convey a more lively presence filled with enthusiasm that they fail to notice. They perceive life as slipping away. It is something that is always developing, packed with undiscovered discoveries, and that viewpoint alone changes the how they seem to other individuals. Frequently remark that you appear younger than your age. Pause to think about it. Do you have a persistent curiosity? You look for challenges that will push your knowledge, your own ideas, and welcome development instead than just floating through life. If so, you've opened one of the best ways to stay young due to the fact that youth isn't. It's measured in years and to keep your mental fire burning brightly. In time will never be able to overtake you. You communicate your feelings. 4. You are free to express your feelings. Have you ever observed freely how some people appear to bear the burden of the world in their eyes and faces exhausted? Their faces hardened, their whole body heavy, almost like life itself has degraded them. Now contrast them to individuals who appear younger than their faces or lighter as they get older. Eyes more radiant, and there's an indisputable gentleness in their carrying themselves, which distinguishes them from the response is straightforward and sentimental. Emotional expressiveness is not intended to be imprisoned when you repress your feel, if it's rage or sadness, annoyance or even happiness. You produce an internal stress that is absorbed by your body, accumulates like poison, causing stress to rise, causing your muscles to tighten and ing itself in your face. After years of unspoken feelings don't only cause mental burdens, they physically alter your thoughts. Someone who consistently suppresses their feelings, that never let themselves completely laugh, weep, or express their reality. That denial wears you down over time. Cortisol and other stress chemicals rise, breaking down and speeding up aging collagen that depletes energy and even immune system deterioration. These are those who appear older than they actually are, not due to genetics, but rather to the emotional burden they decline to release now, taking into account people who are older. Elegantly, those who appear to defy. What do they share in terms of time? Let themselves experience emotions while they're glad. They don't hold back their giggles. They don't pretend to be happy when they're down. Be all right. They weep, they speak, they let go. They are emotionally truthful, and that integrity keeps their features looking young. Bear the weight of years of unsaid words or repressed suffering instead of continue to be expressive, lively, and full of. This is more than just philosophy. It's science cultures that promote transparency. People frequently convey their emotions in who seem younger and more vivacious. Research demonstrates that individuals who permit themselves to freely express their feelings generally experience less stress. Well-being and a stronger feeling of emotional discharge. For well-being is a Force One, a natural anti-aging agent that doesn't costly treatment or cream can copy. So if individuals frequently tell you that you appear younger than you actually are, pause to think, do you allow yourself to? Do you laugh without feeling anything? Do you permit yourself to hold back? Weep when we need to talk about anything burdens your heart to let go of instead, as opposed to, if you repress, you could have unlocked one. One of the best ways to stay young as the face is ultimately a representation of the spirit in individuals who let their feelings run free. They don't only maintain your youthful appearance, they remain youthful in spirit. 5. That you surround yourself with. 5. Positive energy is all around you. Have you ever trodden on some positive energy? Entered a room and felt exhausted right away, as though the air itself was spent or heavy. Spending some time with someone who, after a few minutes, left you feeling worn out. The reason for this is that energy is infectious. If it's positive or harmful, and if you expose yourself to negativity, it's not only something that consumes your thoughts, wears out your body more quickly. The process of aging in ways you might not even realize that the individuals you be in the company of people who are straightforward. Influence on your youthfulness of your everyday surroundings is full with people who voice their complaints, condemn or create a persistent atmosphere of negativity. Their energy permeates, your body tenses as your stress levels grow. And that negativity gradually begins to appear in your posture, your expressiveness, as well as your general well-being. When you glance around, you'll see folks who appear much older than they actually are, bearing the burden of negativity within significant frown lines and an exhausted look in their eyes, unquestionably heavy in their company. Now compare that to those that show up, effortlessly young, regardless of their years. They have a certain radiance and vitality that seems alive and vivid. Their secret they deliberately keep about who they let anybody they want into their space. Connections that encourage dialogue that motivate, and settings that encourage laughter instead of whining. They are aware of a basic reality, the insidious poisoning of negative energies, and they won't allow it to enter there. What philosophy is supported by life, science has traditionally taught constructive social interactions not only enhance your mood, they actively delay the aging process. According to process studies, laughing deep connection and encouraging talking lowers stress chemicals, such as cortisol, and encourage cellular health, is essentially happiness and friendship. Has a revitalizing impact on both the body and intellect. Never question why. Some, despite this, people seem to exude youth. Their age, it's not merely a case of luck, a mirror of the energy they let in their world. Now consider if they are those in your life who are contributing to your energy, or are they gradually depleting it? Your everyday encounters leave you. Do they leave a lighter sensation, or do they an unseen weight on your shoulders? If you're surrounded by negativity, could be having an impact on you in ways that you're not even aware of. Yet here's the good news is that you can alter it. You can decide to grow in setting that provides nourishment instead of depletes, to put relationships first that provide light instead of darkness, as youth is ultimately more than just about your appearance, your vitality. You possess, and that energy is influenced by the individuals you let into your life. If people have said that you appear younger, compared to your age, it might not simply be good habits or genetics, could be an indication that you have encircled yourself with the sort of vitality that sustains you. Actually alive, 6, you lead a passionate life, and 6, you lead a purposeful and passionate life. Have you ever gazed at someone with a purpose and believed that they appeared weary of life? There is no expression on their face. The stance is heavy, and their vitality seems depleted, as though they're just going through the movements awaiting the passage of time. Compare that to someone who exudes, someone whose voice carries in life enthusiasm, whose eyes brighten when they discuss the existence of their dreams, feels electrified by the contrast in passion. Reason to get out of bed each day. Morning persons who don't have passes frequently seem older than their actual age, when feels vacant, when nothing is present on the horizon that thrills them, because it displays the human body reacts to emotional immobility as much as it does to physical inaction. When you cut up contact with your spirit dims when your mind dulls. Therefore, the outcome of a face is followed by your body. That appears worn out, old, and uninspired. Due to time constraints, but due to a lack of connotation, although some people also radiate young vitality regardless of, they don't wake up fearful at their age. When they awaken, they are energized and eager, prepared to construct desire that drives them from the within, and you can see how it reflects outside. In their facial gestures, in the manner in which they move, in the manner in which they present themselves with vigor and excitement. Their presence is contagious, magnetic, completely alive, and it demonstrates and scientifically supports these investigations. Demonstrate that possessing a keen sense of purpose lessens tension and inflammation, and even prolongs life when you're actively working toward a goal. Something piques your interest, whether it's a job or create a personal objective or mission for yourself. More dopamine is produced by the brain, and these substances are serotonin and in charge of motivation, happiness, and they maintain the young glow of your skin. Your body feels invigorated and radiant, and your spirit unbreakable if others frequently comment on how you look younger than you. Take this into consideration. You possess something that nourishes your spirit, anything that motivates you to continue to advance with enthusiasm, or are you simply living your life in a rut? Lacking inspiration, stalled, since it's not just your thoughts that suffers when your enthusiasm is lacking. The body also reflects it. However, when you've anything that makes you feel good, when you awaken every day feeling as though you possess an energy that defies age itself, as youth ultimately is not based on how many years you've. It all comes down to how alive you feel. Within, as well as those who lead passionate lives, they never really develop. You've let go of the past, old seven. 7. The past is let go. Have you ever witnessed someone carrying the burden of their history on their faces, eyes appear far away, and their faces worn out? As though they're stuck in their recollections, cannot run away from the reality is clinging to guilt, hatred, or regret. Don't just alter your bodily state and impact your mental state. It puts more strain on your body, stress, and it gets worse over time, getting older in ways you might not even be aware of. The past weighs heavily on all the unresolved conflict, every unpleasant recollection, every error that you repeatedly replay. Everything has an impact on stress hormones, like rise in cortisol as you think about what cannot be altered, and as time passes, this prolonged stress causes early aging, wrinkle, and even disease that you've probably witnessed in others, who maintain resentment on their faces, stiffened and drained, as though they have been worn down by life itself, and in it has done so in numerous ways. But there are those who appear to be naturally young. What is their secret, regardless of age? They refuse to be defined by their past, having reconciled with the past behind them, being aware that holding on to old only, they are harmed by pain, not those who caused it, rather than wallowing in sorrow. They concentrate on the here and now, rather than remembering their previous errors. They decide to development, healing, and liberty. They recognize a basic Stoic reality. Only the present is completed. Moment is under your authority, and science backs up this findings by demonstrating that those who are forgiving and mindfulness reduces stress. More robust immune systems and longer lifespans after letting go of grudges. Your body discharges as it should. Tension fixes itself and maintains a young and vibrant existence of individuals who are still trapped in the unintentionally hold it in their body, hunched shoulders, and worry is indicated by furrowed brows, engraved into their skin for all time. But those who release themselves walk lighter. Greater height and exude a feeling of alive if you're frequently told that you appear younger than you actually are. Simply genetics, it might be the outcome of a more liberated mind and a lighter heart, because being young is more than just being smooth. Of skin, yet the lack of weight of the soul. Thus, consider what you're still doing. Is the reason for holding on anger or guilt? Whatever the form of resentment, it's not merely lowering your mood and making you older, but as soon as you make the decision to disclose it, to give up carrying things that are no longer useful, you'll experience something amazing. Lighter, freer, younger, since the past is ultimately a burden, and those who release it don't only maintain your youthful appearance, their spirit is still youthful, and that is what keeps time more than anything else. From catching up to if this video struck a chord with you, think for a moment. Youth isn't simply how you appear. It's about how it's your mental clarity that allows you to live, your heart's lightness and your spirit's strength. You cultivate every emotion with every thought. You cling to things that either burden you or maintains your lightness. And as the Stoics teach us, time is beyond our control, yet some folks let us control how we encounter it. Others meet each other as the years define them. Day with curiosity, fortitude, and a profound feeling of direction, they are the ones who stay young, not because they are pursuing young people, but because they foster a timeless mentality, which is something anyone can grow with today's knowledge. Provided you a fresh viewpoint, don't hold on to keep them to yourself and tell someone about this. She exudes a timeless vigor. A person whose existence contradicts their years, they may find it equally eye-catching. I want to hear it now that you've opened up. What is the age that surprised you the most? Error that someone has ever made regarding you? Put the words in the comments section. Timeless attitude, since that's precisely why do we stay young. If you haven't, take a moment to hit that, like already. Button is a minor action. However, it's similar to the tiniest behaviors throughout life influence the greatest results. Sign up so you don't lose out on additional information about the hidden factors that influence not only how we seem, but the way we live. Like in the youth at the end of life isn't measured in years. It's determined by how deeply you interact with life and the extent to which you accept to stay resilient, stay present, and see you in the upcoming video.